Hi everyone, welcome back. Today I want to share a personal journey that taught me so much about discipline and focus and basically the surprising ways we can grow. And I recently completed a 21-day fast, and let me tell you, it was not easy, but the lessons I learned was completely worth it. I'm going to share with you 3 things that I learned. So stay tuned to the end so you can get all those nuggets. So let's get right into it. So why did I choose to fast, right? Have you ever felt that you needed to basically hit the reset button physically, mentally, or even emotionally? So for me, fasting is a way to step back and refocus. It wasn't just about abstaining from certain foods or activities. It was also about challenging myself to let go of distractions, to tune into what truly matters. And I set out to avoid some things that I normally lean on for comfort, whether that was certain foods or social media. Not so much for me, but definitely other types of entertainment, and instead just focus on deeper growth. And the big part of this journey was incorporating prayer and creating a space to hear from God. Sometimes life just gets in the way and you just get off your regular routine and don't really give God the time that you intended to. So my fast with my family, we started this tradition over like 10 years ago, and we were part of a ministry. And then even after that, ever since, we chose to keep it because it allows us to refocus on God, our source, right? And all that comes from that very important relationship. And so when you feel like you have strayed away and you're disconnected from God, you start to sort of crave that reconnection. And that beginning of the year always helps us to do that fast. So that's why we do it for 21 days. And then throughout the year, we might revisit, something different than that, right? So the struggle during the fast, let me be honest, is that the first few days are tough, right? And everything that I decided to give up suddenly felt irresistible. Things I wouldn't normally think twice about became all I could focus on. But what I realized is that this discomfort was teaching me something important. It revealed just how much I'd been relying on these things to fill gaps in my life. The cravings weren't just physical, they were tied to habits and emotions that I hadn't fully addressed, right? And here's where prayer made all the difference. Instead of filling the void left by these things with other distractions, I turned to God instead. It was a practice of reinstating the habit of turning to God rather than turning to things for comfort. Prayer became like my anchor, right? And I even told this to my daughter: whenever you feel like there are things that you want, because she does it too, and she's 12 now. And I'm like, whenever you feel like there's things that you want really, really bad, just turn to God, focus on God, pray and ask for strength and give thanks for all the things that you do have and all the things that you are able to experience, and knowing how much you had when you were able to have all the things that you were having before you got on your fast. And also opens you up to just moments of stillness that gave me the space to hear God's guidance, right? It's a great reminder to make room for something and someone greater than yourself and all the things that you want in your everyday life, right? So what I learned was, when the fast ended, as usual, all the things that I thought I couldn't live without, I didn't want them as much anymore. It was as if the hold that they had on me had been broken all of a sudden. And this taught me basically 3 very important lessons. One is that discipline builds freedom. When we practice discipline, we discover that we're not as tied to our impulses as we think. By saying no to certain people and places and things, we create space for growth and clarity. And the second thing is, prayer is essential. Throughout the fast, I found that prayer wasn't just something I added to the process, like it'd be nice. It became the process. It helped me stay grounded and focused and open to what God was trying to teach me in this moment of growth. Those quiet moments of reflection, those were where I found strength and direction when things got really hard. And every time fasting is mentioned in the Bible, it is mentioned in conjunction with prayer, like fasting and praying, right? Is one is not without the other. You need to incorporate prayer because you want to have direction during that time, during that space. Because there's a saying that scripture that says, an idle mind is the devil's playground. So if you do not have intention with what you're doing, what you're thinking, with the space that you're making, then, it's not going to be for good use. So prayer is essential. And the third thing is to have gratitude for what truly matters. Fasting helped me to appreciate the simple things, as it always does, like a meaningful conversation I had with my mom, a moment of stillness, like basically my me time, which I really need, or the satisfaction of just staying committed to my goals, right? That was major for me for this year, and it has been paying off. And it was a reminder that fulfillment doesn't come from excess, but from intentionality and connecting with God, right? So how can you apply this to your life, right? You do not need to commit a 21-day fast, to experience these benefits. Fasting is personal, and really whatever you can commit, you can start small. Maybe it's a 1-day fast, or perhaps you decide to give up something for, something specific for a week. You can do this multiple times throughout the year. The goal isn't perfection, it's progress, right? You want to be moving towards being more in control of your actions and staying more tied to your goals, right? So that's why we call it a discipline, it's a practice. Use that time to reflect, to pray, and realign with what matters to you most. Just like when you're going to the gym, you may not always feel like it. I know I rarely feel like working out, but I feel great afterwards. And that's the thing. After you finish a fast, you feel amazing. You feel connected. You feel charged. You feel clear, and kind of know what you're doing and where you're going, right? So it's a really good thing to institute into your life, especially since we're at the top of the year and we're all thinking about how can we be better? How can we, stay on track? This is one of the practices that you can incorporate. And when you do, ask yourself, what am I relying on that might be holding me back, right? How can I challenge myself to grow in discipline and focus? And most importantly, how can I make space to hear from God during that process? And I hope you do it, and I hope it works for you if you haven't done it already, or maybe you can reimagine how you've been fasting and being more intentional about it, right? So remember, fasting isn't just giving things up. It's about discovering what you truly need. It's personal, right? And it's a journey that can lead to more clarity, freedom, gratitude, and all those are excellent things to add to your life. If you've ever considered trying a fast, I really encourage you to give it a shot, right? Don't be afraid, and don't feel like it has to be perfect or something's, that there's a blueprint for, right? Let it be personal to you. Let God guide you through that process of finding what should I be fasting and what sort of intention and practice to be behind it. So start where you are and see what unfolds, right? If this video resonated with you, please give me a thumbs up and share your thoughts in the comments. It really helps me to know, if I'm on point here. And just let me know, have you ever fasted before, and what did you learn throughout the process? And if you haven't and you plan on doing it, let me know that too, and what you hope to learn. Let's talk about our intentions. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.